Mama's in the living room watching Judge Judy. I'm in the kitchen eating leftover sushi, and she yells, "Oh, girl, you gotta hear this one." A man was arrested for running the theme park, and when they said, "Where's your license?" he said, "My dog get it." Oh, you can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, "Girl, you gotta hear this one." Mama loves to laugh at how absurd life is, says it's all a comedy and I'm her audience. And I love the way she makes fun of the world. She said, "You'll never guess what's with their girlfriend. It was a man who didn't get us out of the bed. He said, I've been through hell and now I need some help. You just can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up." Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, "Girl, you gotta hear this one."
Hey everybody, it's Squid. Welcome back to the channel. How is everybody doing on this Monday? It's been a crazy Monday, but Mondays are always crazy. And Jeffrey, there will be no melting down today. We have quite a lot to get to and not a lot of time because your girl's got other stuff to do. However, it's Monday. Of course we have new documents. And we also have the screenshot of the notice in the paper for Miltown's worst. Let's see. Let's start us off here. Unhung Hero, thank you as always for starting Mondays off with 10 gifted Squid Purple memberships. I appreciate you so very much. And if I ever forget to tell you, I apologize. And Freckled Gender Taunting. Did someone say taunting? Freckled, well, you never taunt anybody. Andrea, Cynthia, Frankie Fuzzface, Kirby, Stormkiller, Paul, it's so good to see you. Notification worked again today. I love it. So just in case y'all missed it, we did have a live on the other channel yesterday. I think it went pretty well. My new camera, God help me, I bought a new camera. Just when I think that I might actually start, breaking even or making some money on this YouTube channel, groceries and other bills, I go out and make an upgrade to the channel, and I bought a camera. So yeah, there's that. Just when I think like I might be able to put some, money towards groceries or, actually put money in savings for once, here we go. Philip, oh boy, Monday Meltdown. I'm copywriting it, but I'm giving license to Squid. Thank you. Hey, Kevin. Gail, good to see you. As always, thanks for hanging out with me yesterday on the other channel. Silent Patelli, also known as I know who you are. It took me a second, but I know who you are. And big hugs to Baby Squid. She is running around here. She took her iPad off the charger, and she's going to go run around and listen to music. Roy, April, Joey, and I'm sorry if I miss anybody. We got a lot to get to. Jane, thanks for being a member for 2 months. Enjoying your live streams. Good to be here. I am so glad y'all are here because, I can do a live stream, but it's no fun if there's nobody there. I mean, it still is because I get to talk. But Jeff, good afternoon. Mary, taking your long break. Snipe Hunter, and I'm sorry if I do miss anybody. It is not intentional. We just, lurking. You get to lurk from the beginning, and I like the opening, but it sounds even better at 1.25 speed. Yeah, well, I'm still getting better at all of that stuff, Just little Miltown. The reason I call it Miltown's worst is Milwaukee is my hometown. I don't live there, but it is my hometown. So if anybody's going to be a Miltown's best, it's going to be me. Just saying. Heroes Chris, thank you for being a member for 4 months. Hello, all. Jen, good to see you. Shane, Jackie, Grammy, Aussie Aries. Pretty headphones. Thanks. It was my birthday gift from my dad, but I usually don't wear them a lot of the time, but I am trying to work on my audio. And I believe my audio just sounds better with headphones. I am convinced that I just hate my voice. I sound like a Southern Uber. Sometimes the Wisconsin comes out. Sometimes the Southern, because I live here, comes out. It's weird. I hate my voice. So we're trying this because I listened to the live yesterday on the other channel and the audio was god awful. Did you know you can ask ChatGPT to help you with microphone settings? Yeah. But you can go to Meyer. 3 awesome dogs. Stop rubbing that in my face. No, it wasn't you. It's my audio was awful yesterday. I don't know what happened with my mic. What happened, part of the thing that happens is we'll sit here and press buttons. Well, there's buttons on the mic, so things get screwed up. Stream is choppy. Try restarting. Try restarting. Everyone thinks their own sound is bad. I think it's YouTube today because I'm getting no indication of any issues on this end. And even in our studio, it seems to be like everything is going well, sort of. I don't know. I have no idea. So, okay. Stop beating yourself up. I have always hated my voice. I always have. Like I just, So, but I did ask ChatGPT to help me with my mic settings and downloaded Elgato's app, one of the plugins inside of the app, and started messing with things. So hopefully it sounds better. You sound good on my end. And I am getting no indication that, it's, thanks, Jen. It's YouTube. Someone else had that issue this morning on another stream. And I got up and went to the gym this morning. I did 2 workouts this morning and then went grocery shopping, came home, cooked breakfast, did laundry, and cleaned. So I, restart your YouTube so it corrects itself. All right. De-lurking. It's a new phrase. All right. So we are going to get straight into this wonderful first motion. I just have to make sure that okay. I just wanted to make sure that I redacted the address because it is public information. However, I am not pissing off YouTube today because YouTube has liked to throttle back my streams lately. They have not liked to send out notifications at all. And they seem to hate my channel all of a sudden. I don't know if that's because I started a second one or I just finally got to that like 4,200 mark where things start to happen. I don't know. However, yeah, if y'all could like this stream or dislike this stream, something, just give it some attention. Maybe hit that share button. Oh, we are trying to grow to like 5K is the next goal. We're at like 42 something. So maybe we can get to like 4,500 by Christmas. But hopefully with that new camera coming, I will be actually recording a video because I've recorded it and I've recorded it with the camera I have and I've recorded it with this camera and I just don't like it. So I, Liked it in a good way. YouTube having hormonal issues. Aren't we all? Alrighty. So getting to the first document that we have up, we are going to read Randy's motion. This was filed yesterday, 11/2, which was yesterday. So we will get straight into this, and then I have the screenshot. Well, I found the online posting. So there's that. This is from Randy. This is a motion for expense incurred in making the service and attorney's fees pursuant to federal or Rule 4D of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. This is the find out portion of the FAFO equation. Because he wanted to waste time, Miltown appeared to have wanted to waste time and energy. Well, guess what? Now it's money. And it ain't going to be Jeremy's money. You wanted to fuck around, and now you're about to find out. Plaintiff Jeremy Hales, by and through undersigned counsel, pursuant to Rule 4D of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, and hereby respectfully move this court to order defendant Miltown's worst to pay expenses incurred in making service, as well as reasonable expenses, including any attorney's fees, of this motion. In support, plaintiff state. The background. On August 17th, plaintiff through counsel sent David Michael Teschendorf a request for waiver of service of summons via email and via U.S. first-class mail with priority service to his address. Sidebar, I looked, because, I'm curious and I have all this information, so I looked up that address. Now I keep getting freaking notifications like, see how much your property is worth. It ain't my damn property. Although, I wouldn't, yeah. I didn't get noticed for either stream. Oh no. I am doing okay. It's just busy. And I do have one headphone off because, toddler. And these are sound canceling headphones. And the last time that I didn't pay attention to her when she was super quiet and I didn't go out there and check, I had to paint my walls. I did tell Mr. Squid that I had to paint the walls, and I did show him the pictures. He was correct when I had said there are better things that we just should not tell your father. He agrees. He says if I can handle it without him, don't tell him. Anyway, the request for waiver of service included all required documents, including a copy of the complaint, 2 copies of the waiver form, and a prepaid means of returning one signed copy of the form, a prepaid FedEx return label. It was all ready for you. You didn't have to pay for shit. You just had to be a man. And apparently that is too hard. Yeah, Baby Squid created a fashion statement, but she also created art on my drywall. Oh my God, always uncover one ear, you will run out of paint. Yes. But we did have to do some touch-up painting because Mr. Squid and a guy we know put holes in our wall this past weekend, so we painted anyway. Good holes. They didn't mess anything up. They just mounted our sound bar on the wall, and in doing that, they ran the wires through the wall. Well, in doing that, they had to put a hole in the wall. So we were doing some drywall repair this past weekend. Pen or pencil next time you think, Squid, I think your dad knows now. My dad always knew. It was my man that didn't know. It was Baby Squid's dad who didn't know. Because I managed to finish the painting before he got home from work. When Baby Squid becomes the next baby, you will see. You'll be sorry you covered up her artwork. Just as long as she doesn't do art like Hunter Biden, we're good. It was dry erase marker, which is worse. And we did rearrange the kitchen where we moved all of this stuff. I think we won coloring walls as a rite of passage. My mom told me I did with the content. Oh no. My mom did not hesitate to inform me that I used to color on walls too. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't repaint this house after we moved in because we figured she was going to make a mess anyway. So, when Grand Marines do walls, there isn't much left. Oh no. Squid, will all these Dodgers be forced to pay for all of these attempts of service? Robbie Dave paint chips probably costing $10,000 alone. My best guess would be that would be part of the not settlement, because we all know Jeremy's not settling. That ship done sailed and sank like the damn Titanic. Jeremy's not settling. So whenever this is resolved, however it is resolved, I think that will be added into the costs that they have to pay. I'm not exactly sure. I think Randy would be damn stupid, and I don't think Randy's stupid enough to not ask. So that would be my assumption. But once again, seems to be anything is possible with this case. So, well, we don't have a dog, so there's that. All right. Getting back to this, all Miltown had to do was grow a pair. His mom grew a bigger pair when he was in the womb than he has now. Somebody either stole them, they never dropped, or something. Because something is amiss with, having integrity. And I think that's what's missing is integrity. People these days, in general, not limited to this specific case, do not have integrity. When you do something wrong, or you do something in general, just fess up. Like, say you're sorry. That's two things that can never happen. People never admit fault, and people never say they're sorry. It's our dream to share. I love Sweet Lady. Suntan spray will take the marker and permanent marker crayons off the walls. Interesting. I say baby squid picks the paint colors. Yeah, and hi, John. How are you today? The request for waiver of service explicitly informed defendant Teschendorf that if he failed to return the signed waiver, he would require to pay the expenses of service and any additional cost allowed by law. Defendant Teschendorf refused delivery of the mailed request for waiver of service, as evidenced by the USPS priority mail envelope marked return to sender and refused. So it is marked over the address, so I tried to redact as much of the address as possible while still letting the return to sender stay intact. So it took a little more effort than normal. Defendant Teschendorf did not return the signed waiver of service within the 30-day period specified in the request. This court had previously found that defendant Teschendorf appears to be evading service, noting in its order dated October 21st that defendant has made appearances on YouTube taunting plaintiffs about not being served. Yeah, I don't encourage anybody to do anything like crime-wise or civil infractions. However, if you are going to do it, do not get on the internet and talk. That is when you shut your fucking mouth and you give people the silent treatment. And that's where, when you want to say, when someone asks you about it, you say no comment. It's just, too early in Fed 2 to make an educated opinion and outcome. Fed 1 is beyond discovery with none submitted, so it'll be hard to overcome that fact. Yeah, I just think whatever Fed 2's outcome will, if it ever goes in Jeremy's favor, I think that it would, Randy's going to ask for all their money back, basically. Hope and Junior have gone on taunting too. Yeah, I don't. That's the thing. It's not just this case. You see it every day. All over all kinds of social media. Hell, you see it in the news. You see it in politics. Sometimes I wish people, and it doesn't matter who they are, would just stop talking about shit. Sometimes, sometimes you just wish people would just, like, for their own benefit. But it is like a train wreck. You can't look away. It's hard to look away. But I'm very interested in what this judge is going to do about the whole discovery thing, and this due to defendant Teschendorf's failure to waive service, plaintiffs have been forced to incur additional expenses in attempting to effectuate service. On October 21st, this court granted plaintiffs' request to extend the service deadline and permitted service by publication under Wisconsin law. Legal argument. Rule 4D of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure provide a mechanism for requesting waiver of service from defendants located within the United States. When a defendant located within the U.S. fails without good cause to sign and return a waiver requested by plaintiff, the court must impose on the defendant A, the expenses later incurred in making service, and B, reasonable expenses, including attorney's fees, of any motion required to collect service expenses. U.S. Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 4 explicitly states good cause does not include a belief that the law is groundless, or that it has been brought in an improper venue, or that the court has no jurisdiction over this matter or over the defendant or the defendant's property. Defendant Teschendorf has not shown good cause for his failure to return the waiver of service. No, he hasn't. And let me just not do that. I'm still in redact mode. There we go. In fact, his actions demonstrate a deliberate attempt to evade service, as evidenced by his refusal of the mailed request and his taunting of plaintiffs on the YouTube about not being served. The YouTubes. It's frustrating because I even though I don't like someone's personality, I still don't want to see anybody be stupid. And it's just it's one of those things of don't taunt somebody, because there is always a way to serve you. Whether you accept service or not, Wisconsin and Florida both have the publication. All Jeremy has to do is put it in a damn newspaper, and guess what? You're served. You don't have to be physically handed shit. Yes, it takes a little more time. Yes, it takes a little more work. However, lawsuits just don't go away because you refuse to accept service. That's not how this shit works. He gave or used a food bank as his address. He used Milwaukee's County's Department of Health and Human Services, which is ironically across the street from the new mental health emergency room. So, coincidence? Maybe not. Not really sure on that one. Y'all can use your imagination on that one. But just, if you're involved in a lawsuit, if you truly don't think you did anything wrong, accept service. Because if you win, you won't have to pay for shit, because part of the settlement will be the person who brought it paying your court costs. However, by doing all of this, you look guilty as hell, regardless of whether you are or not. When you go work this hard to evade service and then go on the internet and taunt the person trying to serve you, It does not look good for you. Yeah, don't want to see someone be stupid. This is the wrong case for that. Stupid is everywhere. In this case, probably the best one to describe it. Yeah, I just don't want to see anybody embarrassed. I have secondhand embarrassment for people. But I have secondhand embarrassment for people in like movies and TV shows and stuff too. But like, I hate to see people make fools of themselves. And this is just, sometimes things are better when you just shut your mouth. As a result of Teschendorf's failure to waive service, plaintiffs have incurred the following expenses in attempting to effectuate service. $259.89 for publication costs pursuant to Wisconsin law. Additionally, plaintiffs have incurred attorney's fees in preparing and filing this motion. Pursuant to Local Rule 54.1, plaintiffs will file the required declarations in support of the attorney's fees amount if the court determines that plaintiffs are entitled to attorney's fees awards. This motion is filed in compliance with Local Rule 7.1, which requires a supporting memorandum to be filed in the same document with or at the same time as the motion. Conclusion: Defendant Teschendorf failed to return the waiver of service as requested and has not shown good cause for this failure. Instead, he has actively evaded service, causing plaintiff to incur additional expenses in attempting to effectuate service and in preparing this motion. This right here. Damn people, why not get this crap done and over with? The longer it takes, the more loser has to pay. It's content. Like, there are people who are strictly making content only talking about this. And when they talk about something else, it all leads back to this. Like, they talk about either this or the people involved with this. They don't actually do anything else. So for a lot of people, this is content. That's as much as I'm going to say about that. Yeah, this nonsense has gone way too long since the cease and desist. Yeah, and it's so, like, John Cook is in the chat right now. Not a particularly big fan of some of the actions that John Cook has taken. However, this is so far beyond him that it's like you forget that he's involved. This has gotten so out of control. There should not be this many plaintiffs. It should be, or defendants. It should be one plaintiff and two defendants in one case, not 134 documents in a case that should not even exist. Some of the channels on both sides are doomed when this comes to a conclusion. Possibly. DT is trying to look strong on stream. Unfortunately, he has a flock of people that watch and support his stupid choices and even encourage. Yeah, and the thing about it is, like, I hate people that enable other people. You know someone is making a bad decision, and you're, like, cheering them on. Just be honest with the kid. Tell him you think he's being stupid. Tell him to man the fuck up, and this will all be over faster. But it's like, oh, so many people enable people. And I kind of feel bad. But then again, it's like, I can't feel bad for everybody that I want to feel bad for because I got my own shit to deal with. Can you say Victoria? Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. We'll agree to disagree on that one, sir. Under Rule 4D2 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, the court must impose on Defendant Teschendorf the expenses incurred in making service and the reasonable expenses, including attorney's fees, of this motion. The good faith certification. Pursuant to Local Rule 7.1b, I hereby certify undersigned counsel for plaintiffs conferred with David Michael Teschendorf by email on October 29th regarding the relief requested herein. He responded October 30th saying that he acknowledged receipt of the correspondence and was reviewing these materials and has not responded further. as of November 2nd, 2025. Wherefore, plaintiffs respectfully request that this court grant the motion for expenses incurred in making service and attorney's fees, order defendant Miltown to pay plaintiff's expenses incurred in making service in the amount of $259.89, order defendant to pay any reasonable expenses, including attorney's fees, incurred in preparing and filing this motion, and grant such other relief as the court deems just and proper. It's like the catch-all. But the thing that I can appreciate that Randy does is other people have put these people's addresses in the motions. Randy just puts pro se and leaves it at that. Whereas other people have put their entire addresses in there, and it's like, that's not necessary. All right. This is an email from Randy to Miltown. Dear David, please see attached, which is also being sent to you via U.S. first class mail with priority service. Request for waiver of summons. We've read that before. There's no sense in reading it again. So it basically just says, here's if you request it, if you not return the signed waiver, I will take appropriate steps to effect formal service. It's basically like, here's a chance to just waive service and we can move on. The interesting part is if the judge awards Randy attorney's fees, his charge for writing each document that failed will be far more than the cost of service. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And I can just appreciate it from one, not needing to go in there and redact stuff every time, and two, I think it's just a little more, I don't know, I just think it's not a sign of respect, but it's like, it kind of. And hey, Joe, thanks for the $19.99 super chat. Thanks for all you do. I love our 2 p.m. streams. I love them too. And I like that we have a consistent time. So, there we go. I was trying to unclick it and I clicked on it again. All right. I thought you had to hire the local sheriff to serve anyone with court papers. Why is this so difficult? They did. Milwaukee County Sheriff said that he was evading service, which is, attorney's cost per hour is far more than even private eye time. Yeah. I knew a lawyer one time. Well, I didn't know them. They were working opposite of our lawsuit. They were charging the people that they were writing motions or emails for $1,300 an hour. $1,300 an hour. I can't imagine what $1,300 an hour looks like. All right, and then waiver of service summons. This is all in the court record too, so we've looked at this already. But here's where it is interesting, because it says refused and then return to sender. So it is priority mailed, but here's the ad proof. Part 1 of the ad proof. They put it in the Daily Reporter, which apparently is Milwaukee County's. See, this is how much I have never been served in Milwaukee County. Never been served. They have a separate newspaper for just things such as this. So this was the purchase order and basically the receipt. First issue was 10/27. Last issue is 11/10. Number of insertions is 3. And then there's the amount due. However, we are going to look at this. because your girl went to the actual website of the newspaper. And there we go. So I'd have to, to get to the parties, I would need to buy premium access, but I know who the parties are, so it's not important. So add text. Jeremy Bryan Hales versus David Michael Teschendorf, October 27th. A lawsuit has been filed against you within 21 days after the service of the summons on you, not counting the day you received it, or 60 days. So basically 21 days after the last one, which is what I'm assuming the judge will do. Yep. So there it is. There's the actual publication. I didn't put it, I'm not showing you the actual website because of the fact that the addresses are in here. So writing on mail is illegal. I don't know if writing on mail is illegal. I know opening somebody else's opening somebody's mail is illegal. So, you know, but there is the actual summons. Yay. So Teschendorf's officially been served. Now let me close this one. There's just a couple of other short things to go through. There is a new summons against Luthmann, and I have a couple of questions. Not so much from Jeremy's perspective, but just I think there's going to be another nitpicky thing that Luthmann is going to deal with. I have thoughts. So I was personally looking forward to a motion from Randy today that said, "Hey, can we serve him by publication, just like we're doing with Teschendorf?" But you know, so from the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Florida, summons in a civil action. This is where I think someone, Paint Chips or whatever he goes by, lead paint eater, I don't know. They sent it to, well, they put the address of the Secretary of State, which is why I didn't block it out, because it's a government building. But they didn't put junior. I just have a feeling that someone's gonna get nitpicky as hell, and I'm really hoping it's not the judge, because the judge asked for Randy to use junior or senior, or at least make it known, and I'm wondering if someone's gonna point that out. Oh yeah. Husband is a letter carrier. Writing on mail is illegal unless you were a carrier. I know it said refuse. I don't know who wrote the return to sender, though. I don't know who wrote that. There's no proof that it was Miltown. It's just interesting. So just a new summons. So, you know, hopefully. And then this is generally the proof of service, which is not, you know. So there's just a new summons. I was really hoping to see an order to serve him by alternative means of publication. That's really what I was hoping for. I don't know if that's still coming. I would hope it is. I would hope it is. You know, yeah, I don't know. It's just, every time I hear serve, I think of "I'll serve your ass," John McEnroe. I know those lyrics. I just, I'm in a zone. And then we have the order from the judge. Like I said, this will be a relatively short stream, which is kind of good, actually. So this is from Judge Belaytho. Upon consideration of the foregoing, it is ordered this 3rd day of November. Plaintiffs have moved to extend their deadline to respond to Teschendorf's motion to dismiss to November 25th. The motion states that defendant Teschendorf has no opposition. Accordingly, plaintiff's motion is granted, and the deadline to respond to Teschendorf's motion to dismiss is now November 25th. This is where the judge is getting nitpicky about procedure again. And this is a very by-the-book judge, but he's under Judge Hinkle. And Judge Hinkle is, from what I understand, is a very nitpicky, by-the-book, follow all the rules. I don't care if I like you. I don't care if I hate you. You got to follow the damn rules. So it is apparent from the motion that plaintiff's counsel conferred with defendant Teschendorf before filing the motion. See Northern District of Florida, Local Rule 7.1b. In future motions, however, plaintiffs must include a certificate of conferral under a separate heading. So Randy did it in the motion we just read. It's just, he didn't do it, and the judge called him out. Like I said, this judge he's not biased, but he's a procedure. He is a very by-the-book man because of who he is learning from. The judge that is over him, the district judge that is over him, is a very by-the-book, nitpicky, read all the rules, follow the rules to a T. I don't care. There's no cutting corners. And Belaytho is the same exact way. Because doing a little research on Hinkle and some of Hinkle's cases, he's a very no cutting corners. I don't care who the hell you are. I don't care how long you've been a lawyer. There's no cutting corners in my courtroom. And Belaytho is the same way. So I kind of expected this motion. The problem with being by the book is that morons don't care about procedures. Yeah, well, his bosses, and if he ever wants to move up in the world, they care about procedure. So, yeah, it is what it is. Tay's others. It's time for FOD walk now. Oh, I forgot to post it, but I saw a video, and I have to look at the video to see how long ago it was. But I guess it was a Malaysian F-18 exploded upon takeoff. It totally looks like FOD through the engine. Like, you could even see it. Like, you don't have to be a genius to figure out what happened there. But I don't know when it was. All I saw was a video, and like, people are sharing videos on Facebook like they were recent that were 7 years ago. So I didn't do any more like investigating into that, but I have to. So that's just a 1-page order from Belaytho. It's pretty like, it is what it is. Like, he's a very by the book person, which is like, it's good in a way and it's not good in a way. Sometimes the rules suck. Sometimes the rules are unfair. Sometimes the rules don't make any sense. But I can appreciate the fact that he's following the rules and not legislating from the bench, which we see a lot lately. A lot. So, yeah, it does show that Belaytho is still assigned to this case, too. Yeah, we kind of figured that one out the last time. But, yeah, Belaytho didn't go anywhere. So, just for that specific motion. I'm going to check the docket to see if there is anything in the bankruptcy case. I doubt it, but who knows? And there's still nothing in the, from what I am seeing, in the federal 3. Yeah, there hasn't been anything in federal 3, the Jeremy and George versus Daniel Rex Owen. There has not been anything since he was issued a summons in September. So I keep an eye on that. I check that one about once a week, just because, every time that Every time you check that one, everything costs money on Pacer. So, if Jeremy gets all these cases tied together in the bankruptcy, then who will be the judge? The bankruptcy is going to stay a separate judge. The bankruptcy will stay a separate judge just because the civil court is different from bankruptcy court. But federal 3, I don't think it will go to Blythe, though, because of the fact that it has a different defendant. I think it'll stay with who it's been assigned to. I can't remember offhand who it's been assigned to, but she did, on the 30th, there was the filing of the personal financial management course. So everything is, everything is there that needs to be there so far. So, except for, there's a final notice that was put in on the 30th. Final notice to file proof of service. Jerome is reminded of the requirement to serve the order referenced herein and file a certificate of service within 3 days. Failure to comply with the Florida North bankruptcy noticing requirements may result in the order being vacated. So that was the 30th. He's got to file that by today. Yesterday, actually. So there was a certificate of service on the 31st. Let's see what this looks like. I'm opening these and checking them before I do anything to see if I need to redact. But we will just share this screen. And I'm not showing you the second page because that's got all the email addresses and stuff on it, and I'm not taking the time to redact all those, so I'm just not going to show it. But just know the second and third pages are just creditors, email addresses, and addresses. Not something that we need to. But certificate of service of the order granting debtor's motion to reinstate case. I hereby certify a true and correct copy of the order granting debtor's motion to reinstate case was served simultaneously upon the court's docketing thereof on all parties registered to receive notice of electronic filing in this proceeding. I also certify that on October 30th, I served a copy of said document by first class U.S. mail, postage prepaid, as otherwise upon the parties listed on the manual service listed below, which is everybody. So, yep. I hereby certify that I am admitted to the bar of the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Florida. How, I'm not really sure, but hey, stranger things have happened. I don't get all the redaction stuff when it was redacted the first time. Well, I must want redact. Shush. Yes, and here's my new channel. We are kind of cooking with fire over there. I am about to go see if my stuff has been delivered because I got a couple notices. So I'm going to go check my my mail to see if the Amazon guy has been here yet. So we shall see what happens. But when I have ideas of videos I want to record of things that I don't really feel need a live stream, but I want to kind of touch about. But that is all I have for today. Really quick, really straight to the point stream. Didn't really have a lot of extra stuff to talk about. I did hear. I've seen some Facebook posts because I'm in one of the Facebook groups. I have seen some things about Fleesa throwing Bruce under the bus because she didn't help him or he didn't help her with like legal stuff. It's like, do you notice that everybody in federal 2 that has a lawyer is a lawyer? Like, get a lawyer who's not involved in the case. Like that. My best advice to people is get a lawyer who get a lawyer who is not involved in the case, because obviously following his advice got y'all sued. So it's probably not the best thing to follow his advice on anything. Just stay up. Hey, I heard a knock at my door, open door, package there, pick up the package, come inside. About 2 minutes later, and Alexa announces, I have a delivery. Oh my goodness. Yes, Facebook is the devil. Facebook is where the boomers go. No offense. I had to do a replay on yesterday's live. We had to do senior pictures. Yeah, yesterday's live was pretty. Sunday morning lives on the other channel are just Q&As about the topic that we covered in the video the week prior. Because I didn't release a video over there yet, we just did it on things that y'all want to see over there. Yesterday was a lot of fall prevention, because that seems to be the biggest issue in the world these days as far as like aging, is falls. And I'm telling you, you don't have to be considered old in order to fall. Your girl has a giant ass bruise on her shin because she fell getting into the shower. I stepped in with my left foot and slid, and my right shin went straight into the tub. So you don't have to be considered old to join us in the discussion over there on fall prevention and aging in place and all of that stuff, because I'm 40. God, that's weird to say, but I'm 40 and I almost busted my ass yesterday or Saturday. Yeah, but the bruise is quite big. I did not cry, but I screamed like hell, to the point where Mr. Squid came running and thought I had just old. You're 40. I am not old, but I'm not old. I'm not young, but I'm middle aged now. So yeah, it's not good. It wasn't good. I caught myself because luckily I'm strong enough barely to catch myself and stop myself from falling. However, you don't have to be old to be at risk for falls. So it wasn't how not to fall. Don't be a klutz. Well, it's not always that easy. It's not always that easy, especially when you have chronic pain, dizziness, anything like that. So, join us on that other channel. I do have us set up to redirect over to Spawn. He and my pretty will be hanging out this afternoon, talking all of the drama that usually I don't talk about over here. And we will be talking tomorrow. Spawn and my pretty will be on this channel tomorrow at 2 o'clock for Pretty, Petty, and the Seeker. Because she's pretty, I'm petty, and he figures shit out. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Thanks for hanging out with me. Please hit that like button and share this stream out. We're trying to make it to 5K, and the best way you can do that is to hit some buttons, some combination of buttons, and share the stream. Yeah, nice quick stream. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Bye, guys. Bye. You want to say bye? Bye. You'll help? Yeah. Okay. Ready? You're going to hit that button right there. Ooh.